Hey folks, Dave back here again with Ron. Welcome back, Ron.
How you doing?
And got another therapy support group session tonight, and gonna need it. Stress level is just getting high now. It's just you can avoid things for so long, and then if something happens and it just triggers you. And so,
Well, the good news is, if there is any, is that we're kind of hitting maybe the top of our peaks in our respective states, and so the going down the slope is going to take a long time. It doesn't mean by May 1st that we're all back to normal again, but maybe, just maybe, in our part of the world, there's some light there.
yeah, I mean, they're saying the numbers are coming down, and that's better than going up still.
Our number went down today. Still had new cases and such, but our numbers went down. Tribe fan, how are you? And Mr. Castro.
Tribe, good to see you, buddy. And Cleveland Spiders, go Spiders, Spiders. Kenny, what's going on, buddy?
You sound like Dana Carvey doing George Bush. Spiders. Don't want to play us. Still gaining acceptance. You went 20 and 134. Still gaining acceptance.
We're only 84 games out of first place. So
that's right.
So I learned how to play a new football game today, Jugget.
You did?
Yep. It was got it right here. It was the Roberto Schvini game, Mud to Glory, from Mud to Glory, American football. And I played a couple of games today. I played the 1981 season. I played the 49ers and the Bengals, which might have been the Super Bowl.
It was the Super Bowl.
And then I also played New England Patriots, Baltimore Colts. I played a couple of games.
This 9-year-old Bengal fan wasn't quite brokenhearted. It wasn't the Red Sox level of disappointment when they lost. And I take great pleasure in the fact that we played San Francisco twice in the Super Bowl in the 80s and gave them a good game both times. We avoided the plague of crappy 80s Super Bowls.
So that was a Montana guy.
How could you not be a Montana guy?
I just, the thing was back in the day, I never
really. I was a Montana guy, and he beat my team twice.
Back in the day, I never really rooted.
It's a long story.
Oh my gosh, I can't get this sentence out. It's like talking to my wife, for crying out loud.
May it please the court.
Back in the day, like when the Patriots would get knocked out, I would automatically start rooting for the NFC. That was just me. So when the Bengals won, I didn't want to see the Bengals win. I didn't want to see the Bills win. I didn't want to see any of those to steal anybody. I wanted the NFC to win all the time.
I never wanted to see the Steelers win.
Because those are teams that just, you don't know and you don't care about. So when San Francisco beat them twice, I was pretty happy with that. So yeah, so I played today, and so I'll do a video tomorrow on that one there and how that one works. There's a lot of setup in that one though. Is you have how you usually have offense and defense, and then you crisscross and compare and come up with a modified offense. Well, you do that a handful of times. You do it for running touchdowns, passing touchdowns, special teams, and there's 5 columns that you go off of: running, passing, special teams. Those are the ones that you compare ratings. And then you have 3 separate roles. One is for field goals, one is for defensive touchdowns too. So there's things: running, passing, field goals, defense, special teams.
And this is all a one roll game, or
no. So you roll. You would roll 5 times for each, actually more than 5 times. So you'd roll 5 times. So you'd roll to see how many running touchdowns you got. You roll to see how many passing touchdowns you got. You roll to see how many defensive touchdowns you got. You roll to see how many special teams touchdowns you get. And then you roll to see how many field goal attempts. And then you roll for each field goal. And then there's a third die option too, like in all those games that add stuff to it. So there's a lot of rolling in this game. So it's a quick play game, but it's not a quick play game.
So again, just like with all the other Roberto games, there's some meat on those ones. Yes, I feel the same way about the Steelers I do about Ohio State and Notre Dame. Irrational hatred.
So I played it today, so I'll get the video done tomorrow for that. It's just a lot involved in that. I mean, the second game played pretty quick. Now that I got the hang of it now, because I thought it was every time the field goal was a field goal good, but no, those were just field goal attempts. But there weren't a lot of field goal attempts. I was surprised. I would think there'd be more field goal attempts. But then again, I'm playing 1981.
Probably wasn't a lot of field goal attempts, and those offenses are pretty powerful too. They got in the end zone an awful lot.
Well, I think the San Francisco Cincinnati game was 23-7 San Francisco, and the New England Baltimore game was 31-7 or 31-10 New
San
England.
Francisco's defense was pretty good.
Yeah.
No, I don't have as much emotional, irrational hatred of the Yankees. We've won more World Series than you recently. That kind of takes care of that.
Yeah, Yankees are old school, like Canadians, just old school champs. Good back in the day, but yeah.
Speaking of old school champs, NHL on YouTube tonight, I think at 7:00 Eastern is re-airing the last time the Maple Leafs won the Stanley Cup, and of course it's a black and white kinescope because it's from 1967.
Oh, really? I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
They beat somebody, which we won't talk about.
Yeah, well, that's when I was born. I remember that one. I don't remember it, but I remember that being a hockey fan. It's like, oh yeah, the last time the Maple Leafs won, it was the year I was born. So, no, it's not a drive-by-drive game. He does have a drive-by-drive game, which is on deck. Right? Yeah, that one is called. What is the drive-by-drive? This one is called Mud to Glory. The drive-by-drive game is Any Given Sunday.
That sounds about right.
Something like that. Yeah, I'd have to double check, but I think it might be Any Given Sunday or Heroes of Sunday or something like that. But that is a drive-by-drive.
The whole workbook, though, is an entire decade for that one price. It's not just one season.
Yeah, so, well, yeah, I think I got the whole 80s here. So I got the 80s for Mud to Glory. And I like it because, like I say, it's a quick play game, but it's not just offense, defense. There's all these factors in there to figure out. So that was kind of good. Sorry.
We mentioned that Downey Games Easter sale. If you go, it's 20% off.
Yeah, you put Easter in the code or something like that?
In the code when you check out.
Yeah, so Downey Games are on sale. Well, I'll post that here. So Downey Games on sale.
Uh-oh. Demos watched a complete movie last night.
So check out Downey Games.
What movie was that?
Yeah, what movie was it? I'm interested to know. But I went to the Downey site. I'm not sure what I want to get right now. You know what I mean? I have a lot of the stuff. I mean, I could maybe pick up a football season here or there for. I haven't played fast action football in quite some time, or game winning drive. You know, I like the Shavini games. I'm really enjoying them. You know, Last Stand, good for you there. And Arnold, hey, thanks for coming in. We're doing okay as we just have a little chat here tonight. What is this, Wednesday night?
It is Wednesday.
The Wednesday night? Okay, yeah, we're trying. The days are flying by. So I did my basketball video this morning. So I gave a pretty comprehensive look at regular season basketball. I can now call it out what it is because I got the game in and you know they came through with the game and the whole bit. So I feel confident now. So I played a little bit today. I showed how to play basic and I showed how to play advanced. Playing advanced is kind of a misleading term.
The advanced is just the stats, right?
The advanced is just the stats. So the basic game is just the score. And if you want to play an advanced, you don't play anything more. It doesn't change the score. It just shows you who scores. So you actually look at a chart to allocate the points. You allocate, how many, attempts, how many field goals, free throws, 3 points, assists, rebounds, the whole bit. You can even calculate, time on the court and all that stuff if you really want to. So if you want to play this game, you can get as advanced as you want. You really can. Or if you just say, look, I'm just only concerned about the points, which is probably what I'll do, then I might do that. But I'm going to try to do a series. I'm going to try to do that. I don't know if I'll do the 76ers Celtics that I was doing, or maybe I'll set up the Lakers Celtics or the finals.
You said what, 83, 84?
Yeah, so what was that, Houston?
No, that was the year they beat the Lakers.
Oh, 83, 84 was Lakers? Okay, so maybe I'll do a
7-game series.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that 7-game series. I just won't keep the stats because it does take about a half hour or so to do the stats because you roll and you look at the line and figure it all in. And the spreadsheet I come up with was pretty good. You really need a big scrap pad to keep the stats on a piece of paper. So
my mother, well, she hasn't watched the NBA in years because I haven't lived at home in that long, but she pretended to be a Laker fan. Or I think she was a Laker fan because when she was pregnant for me, Wilt Chamberlain was with the Lakers. And so they were on a lot. And so she liked Wilt. She was not one of Wilt's 20,000, by the way. I don't have that claim to fame. Okay. I'm not the love child of my mother and Wilt Chamberlain, but she was a Laker. She's still alive, but she rooted for the Lakers, and the Celtics won that in 7 at the Garden. And in the night of Game 7, me being the little pissant 12-year-old that I was, I just gave her so much shit. Oh, look,
Really?
Mom, they're up by 8 now. The Celtics are going to win this. Shut up. I'm surprised I didn't get thrown into bed. Oh, look, Ron, you're going to miss the Celtics winning the NBA championship because you couldn't keep your mouth shut.
I'm looking forward to doing a 7-game series of that. I wouldn't keep the stats, because I'm not that big of a basketball guy, but I might, if I did the one-off, I might keep the stats. Although it's not terrible to do the stats. It's really not. It takes about a half hour. If you were just keeping points, it takes about a half hour, but you could probably rip through that quick play game in 5 or 10 minutes,
Yeah, it's just essentially you put the modifiers in where you want, right?
Yeah. I score. I think I did look at the basketball version, but that spreadsheet I come up with was good.
Looks great too.
Yeah, it looks good. I put some color in there, and it just works for me for what I want to keep track of in the whole bit. But yeah, the iScore stuff looks neat. But the scoreboard they gave you was good because you need to put in the dice rolls. You need to see what the roll was. So if you ever need to go back and check a stat, it's there. And then sometimes you do need to go back and fix something after the game to get the stats, correct, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And then but the modifiers you put anywhere. They suggest if you're the visiting team to put a bulk in the fourth quarter because that's when the home team advantage would come in and you'd be fighting the crowd.
Exactly.
I like to spread it out, and for the home team I like to get it out of the way early.
Yeah.
So that's that minus modifier that comes into play. But I've had 2 good games. I mean, Philadelphia was -11, Boston was -2. So that's a 9-point differential that Philadelphia's had to overcome, and twice they were within shouting distance of winning that game. I played 2 games and they almost won either one. So
that was the year they came off their championship. They'd won the championship in '83. They got Moses Malone, who was really the big key for them. I almost have an irrational hatred of Philadelphia too, but it's been too long. But so yes, they actually beat the Lakers to win the title. And I just think that in '83, '84, they were just a tired ball club. Irving was older and all that. I got a note. I don't know when this note actually got to me because if you ever look in Facebook Messenger, you can see if someone that's not a friend of yours.
I found some stuff that was a year old in there. Somebody I work with, and I'm like, holy cow, where's this been? And I got a hold of him, but it was a year before I saw it.
I was chatting with my buddy Ricky Keeler today, and I had to go into the Messenger thing instead of just being on Facebook. And there was a message from someone who had watched my skiing video from Italy.
Oh, no way.
No way. And he said I played it wrong, and so I'll have to read the directions again. And his English was much better than my Italian. His English was not bad. He apologized, loved the video, and it's like that was very sweet on a day where we're all kind of struggling to find the positives. Yep. He went out of his way to do that, and so thank you, sir. Whatever your name was, I don't remember, but that was very sweet.
Well, when you do something in a game that maybe you screw up, or something like that, or maybe you play it wrong, or maybe you're just playing it your way, or maybe you're thinking differently, and someone points that out. I mean, if they do it tactfully,
we've talked about this before. No, it wasn't Roberto. Roberto's English is excellent,
and it wasn't a gotcha moment, and it wasn't you're an idiot and you're a jerk. That's what I don't like.
We've talked about this a lot offline. This was the perfect. I'll have to go through because I thought I read the rules right, but it's me. And so I'll read through them again, but he was everything that we had talked about before. It was very tactful. He gave an example. It was hard to follow because the English wasn't whatever, but still it was, if you're going to get onto somebody, if you're going to talk about, Ron, you did this wrong. Here's how you should have done it. That's how you do it.
Yep.
And he liked the video at the end and said nice things about my YouTube channel. And he didn't need to do that. He was just very, very polite about it. And so if you're watching these, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, it just, when someone says something nice and they're like, I've had that happen with the shootout hockey. Someone will say, hey, this is how, I think you did this wrong. Or this is how that's supposed to be. And if they say it that way, it's like, hey, you're right, I messed it up. Or it's like, yeah, you're correct, but I prefer to play it like this. So, and Sportsman Z, boy, if anybody knows Sportsman here, he's done a lot of streaming too. And just you make that mistake, especially if it's live. And you know how it is. Sometimes you're watching the camera, you got some distractions. You're trying to play the game and show it off, and just you make a mistake. You say something wrong. Like I think I said rebounds instead of assists when I was doing the video, and I'm like, oh man, I think I screwed that up, you know. But just there's so much going on, and yes, I am. Nice. No, I heard Brady was on Howard Stern, but I haven't heard the interview, but I heard it wasn't good. I heard Brady made a lot of fans mad. So yeah, I did hear that.
You can't have such a high profile divorce and feelings don't get hurt.
Oh, is that what it was?
I have no idea what it was, but
Oh.
I'm just saying that would be, you can only toe that line so long before.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, I thought you meant maybe his first. No, he wasn't married before. He just had a kid with somebody, right? He didn't marry the other one. Okay, so
no.
you're talking divorce from the Patriots.
Yes, I'm talking about the relationship with the Patriots.
Yeah, I think what everybody
years with somebody and it's not, that's a divorce.
Well, yeah, I think what everybody is saying, he was just tired of the Belichick way. Even though the Belichick way was more successful than not, he had won 6 Super Bowls. He's been there 9 times or whatever it is. And he's like, I want to do it differently. I just want to have some fun. I don't want to have to, at my age, in my last 2 seasons, do it this way. And it's not that he's not going to try. And, and we've talked about this. He just wants to do it different. And so good for him. Good for him. But, so those seasons, Ron, so for the basketball, he has 80-81, and that was the Celtics, right?
No. Oh, yes, it was. It was.
Yeah. Because I was looking here on Basketball Reference. So the Celtics were 80-81, 83-84, and he has 80-85 too. So they have the 3 Celtics seasons. So that's kind of cool. So they have 81, was it 80, 80-81, 83-84, 85-86.
Yep, those are the 3 Celtics championships.
Yeah. So that's all they have.
Someone's a Celtics fan.
Yeah, it must be because those are the only ones he has. Now he has 90-91, which is Bulls. That was Jordan.
That was Jordan's first championship. And they beat the Lakers to do it. That was an impressive run.
Okay, so 90-91. And the other seasons he has is 95-96.
70-win Bulls season.
That's Bulls again. And that's all. So he just has those 2 in the 90s. So I don't know which one I would get. Probably the 90. That's after that, I kind of stopped following.
Last year is 90-91.
So that's what I would probably get. 90-91.
Big clue. And if you hate the Pistons, that's a perfect one because that's who Chicago beat in the Eastern Conference Final. And we all enjoyed that.
Who'd they beat?
Detroit to get in the final.
That's right. They got some 70s here. I didn't know much about the 70s.
Okay. What years?
71, 72, which was...
That's the year the Lakers won 33 straight.
Lakers, that was Jabbar.
No, it was Chamberlain. Jabbar's in Milwaukee.
Oh, okay. It just says he's here as the MVP.
Yep, he was with Milwaukee.
Oh, that would be interesting. Jabbar with Milwaukee. So in 71, 72, 74, 75.
Golden State, Rick
Golden
Barry.
State. Yep. Bob McAdoo was the MVP.
Yep.
77, 78.
The
Bullets. Washington Bullets. Wow, I didn't know they won a title. Bill Walton was the MVP of the league. Well, I'd have to take a look at some of the teams.
That's funny because he didn't. The Knicks, 71, 70, 69, 70, and 72, 73 were the Knicks' great years. It's funny he didn't take any of the Celtics 70s championships. They had a couple. They weren't that 73, 74, and 75, 76. That was the year that they had the infamous triple overtime game at the Garden against Phoenix. You've seen those clips.
Yeah. So I would probably get, well, I mean, I don't know how much 80s basketball I want to do, but if I got the 2 other 80s, that would get me the 3 Celtics championships in the 80s, and I could get one of the 70s. That'd be kind of fun. I wouldn't care about the Bullets. 79, 80, LA.
79, 80 is Bird and Magic's rookie year.
Okay. 71, 72 is interesting.
Different style of basketball.
Yeah, it would be. Bird's last year. Yeah, when Bird at the end, he was really hurt. His back was done. Oh, you wanted something funny? I think it was Sean made a comment. This I let me read this because this is pretty funny. Sean made a funny. He really
Okay.
did. Where was it here? Okay. So Sean, right? I'll just kind of paraphrase here. He says, "This is hilarious. The Spiders. This is my Spiders game. Okay,
Yes.
when I did the Cleveland Spiders playing and they
Ye-
lost. They gave up 4 runs in the 7th, and then they still were tied and they blew it on a 2-out wild pitch in the 9th. That's how they lost.
You enjoying your Moxie, by the way?
I am. The club is. Come on in. The water's great. So I'm in the walk-off wild pitch club. That's how I lost the game. So Sean writes, hilarious. The Spiders find a ridiculous way to lose, but they should do that. Love seeing them self-destruct. Now, as for who was playing for the opponent, interesting to hear a non-baseball guy, me, do this because in moments where I would be in awe of just knowing who was at the plate, Dave just says Wagner. Like anyone else out there, and it was Honus Wagner.
There you go.
It was, and now it's Wagner. I don't know, Wagner, McDuffins, Dummy Moy or Dummy Hoy, whatever his name is. Holy cow!
Poor idiot on the ice that can't skate.
Right. Oh, so that was funny. So is it a long story? No, it's over now. 79-80 at Dr. J and the Sixers. Yeah, I had Dr. J on the Sixers when I did 83-84. But yeah, so I didn't pick up on Honus Wagner. Sorry. But then again, if I was the broadcaster in 1899, he wasn't a big deal. He might have not been the big deal that he was today. I'm sticking by my guns. I'm going back 120 years, 121 years. And the guy that was milking the cow come back, check the ticker tape. He saw that the game was tied, and yes, it was. It was a Honus mistake. That's pretty good. I like that. I'll give you this. All right, I'll go with that one. That was good. So we had an interesting conversation last night. We talked about a lot of movies. Boy, a lot of movies. We talked about some of our favorite non-famous movies or lesser-known movies, I think it was called. So that was a fun time.
Lesser-known movies.
Yep. So that was a good time with that. See, all I did today really did 2. Okay. Let me tell my story here.
Yes.
And yes, this is a long story.
May it please the court.
Okay. If it pleases the court, yes. Okay. So please continue. Okay, I will. So is this a long story? Yes, it is. So I'm going out for a walk today, walk number 2. And these 2 days are starting to really tire me out. They really are. So I took mouth number 1 out. So it was about 3:00. I was like, okay, I'll take him out for a walk. So I take him out and I look and I see through the backyard of one of my neighbors, I could see these 2 huge fire trucks. I'm like, oh boy, what's the fire department doing on the next street over? So I said, well, I better get on and check this out. So I start walking. I start, we'll take a detour from our walk and go and see what the fire trucks are doing. Right? And so instead of going all the way out and around, we'll just cut it short, whatever. And so I start walking and we get down to right about the end of my street, right before the intersection. And that's where the other street tails off that I would get on for all the fire trucks. Well, they were all right there at that intersection. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? It's like, and I'm looking around and all these people are gathered around. Now they're apart. They're not in a crowds, but you got like 2 here. And so all the families come out, but they were staying apart. Okay. Just so we're clear about that. And so I'm looking and it's like, they get 2 fire trucks, police, and the whole bit. Like, what is going on here? And everyone's out walking and stopping, right? And we're looking, and people coming out of the house. And we're like, I don't see any ambulance. I don't see any fire. I don't smell any smoke. No one seems to be like they're not going in anybody's house. So I'm like, what is going on? And all of a sudden, I see the ladder going up into a tree, and there was this big blue and orange parrot in the tree that had escaped from somebody's house.
2 kids, but it had enough.
Yeah. And I was like, boy, that thing's gorgeous up there. And he's just sitting there. And so everyone's driving by and stop. It's like, what's going on? And it's like, oh, there's a parrot up in the tree. So, of course, I got mouth number one. He was trying to go for a walk. So I'm like, no, we're going to see if they saved the parrot. So they kept moving the ladder and going around and going. And finally, the guy after he grabs him by the feet and the parrot, but he's got him. I got him. Adrian, I got the chicken. And so, yeah. So he walks back down, got the parrot, hands him off, to puts him in the bag, and gives. I don't know if he gave him to the people or what, who was looking for him, but like 3 animal control cars showed up. So, yeah, so I got to see him rescue a parrot out of a tree with a big hook and ladder. So that was some excitement going on in the neighborhood today. It really was.
And it's tonight. Speaking of that, it's tonight's specials at Applebee's because it's eating good in the neighborhood.
Did I walk and saw a bird? That's one hell of a story. No, but it was in the tree. I've never seen a parrot. How often do you guys see parrots in trees? I don't. I see crows and seagulls and once in a while I have eagles and hawks. But did they stop playing Margarita? Boy, that would have been funny though, huh?
Wasting away again in Margaritaville.
Yep. Neighborhood what? No, I just was out walking. I'm on a small neighborhood. When you see 2 hook and ladders going down the next street, you're thinking, oh, jeepers, what's going on here? And they were just getting,
Did the parrot curse out the fireman?
I don't know. He was doing a lot of that. And Darlene says, Tubi TV, best B-rated movies. I had the Roku at one point. I think I still got it somewhere. And they had all these little tiny channels on the Roku. And there was some of it was free. Some of it was like $2-3 a month. But they had tons of movies and stuff. And I haven't found the Tubi TV yet. But there's a creature feature one I watch. It's a KOTU or KIT. It's some TV station that you can only watch on the internet and always playing Godzilla movies and stuff that. Yeah, so that's been fun to watch there. But you know what they had too on the Roku? They had old commercials, and this was a free channel. So you clicked on it, and it would play all these old commercials from the 50s and 60s. And some you knew and some you didn't. Some of them were long. Oh, my gosh. There was one for a dishwasher soap, like a dishwashing powder. Yeah. Okay. And so the guy, I think the guy was talking to his mother at the kitchen table, and the wife comes in with the groceries. And right before she goes into the kitchen had like the saloon doors going into the kitchen. Okay. And right before she gets there, she stopped, and the mother's talking to the must have been her son, saying, "I'm not sure if she's the right girl for you." "Oh, Ma, she is." "Well, we got some concerns with her." "No, Ma, she's really." And the wife's sitting there listening the whole time. And this went on. Got to be a minute and a half, 2 minutes. This was not your 30, 45-second commercial. This went on in the conversation. It's like, so you could tell this was an old commercial.
Right.
Because there's no way you would make a commercial like that today. And so finally, right at the end, the wife comes in with the groceries or whatever, and she puts down the dishwashing soap, and the mother looks at, "Oh, she uses this soap for the dishwasher? I'm so proud of you, son. You got a good girl." Something like that. It was so cheesy. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I can't believe I sat through the whole thing.
And you know what? You don't even remember what the product was.
I don't, but I think it was a dishwashing machine thing, if they had dishwashers back then. But it was just funny that they waited all that time to bring that out. I was like, oh my gosh, they could have just cut this in fifths and made it a commercial. But yeah, so that was a funny one there.
Okay, there. Appa Chatter's an old MASH fan. What Polly the Parrot saw in other adult movies coming to a neighborhood near you. You remember the scene from the early part of MASH when Colonel Blake was alive? And they're going through, and they've got the Tabasco Film Company from wherever. And one of the movie titles was what Polly the Parrot saw. And it's softcore porn, 50s porn. Yes.
And let me see. Darlene says Pluto TV as well. There's a few ones out there that are pretty good. I had one. It was
domain stuff. So
what was there was a horror one I subscribed to. Scream TV or something like that. There was Screamfest or there was some channel I subscribed to. It was like $5 a month and it had a ton of horror movies on there. And every time I went to watch it, it would load and it would load and it would play and it would stop and it would load. And I canceled. I was like, I can't do this. It's like, if you're gonna charge me for the service, even if it's $5 a month, and I can't get a
$5
movie,
is a lot.
and I can't get a movie to even play, it just forget it. I never watched a single movie because I couldn't ever get it to load.
Wow, Appa Chatter, we were thinking the same thing. And the Basco Movie Company was out of San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Oh, was it?
Speaking of charging, a couple days ago, going through my email, I saw that NHL Network or NH. I could drag it out.
Go ahead.
So a few days ago, I was, perusing my email, just kind of going through and come on, put it up. I know you want to. And I had gotten, it's because you're leaning back. You're waiting. I'm looking at the camera and Dave's going to reach over and hit the button. And so I saw I had been charged for another month of NHL.TV, which is kind of crazy since they're not playing any hockey right now. Yeah. See, even he agrees with me. It's like, wait a minute. What are you charging me this money for?
I think I paid, I usually pay
I would
fans
do
for
it by
the
the
season.
month. I just do it by the month.
The reason why I pay for a year because I was part of a class action lawsuit, and it said if you had signed up for a season on this year, then because of this class action lawsuit, you will get it at a reduced price for the next 5 years or something like that. So it just makes sense for me that I think I pay $105 for the season, so it just makes sense at that point.
And so yesterday,
Hi, Larry.
I got an email back saying, "Oh, we've refunded your money."
Oh, good.
It's like, but you've got to be kidding. What are you billing us for anyway?
Yeah. Hi, Ray.
Yeah, that's right.
Sherbet. Yep.
How you feeling, Ray?
Ray's got a nice setup going on.
Don't give Gardner any ideas.
I know, right?
So, yeah. So I had to go out today. Here's your long story of the day, okay?
All right, go ahead.
I had to go out today. I had to pick up my generic cholesterol pills. So, trip to CVS, and now they want us all to wear the masks. Now, I've never worn a mask in my life. Not maybe, except for Halloween, and I hated those. Remember those old rubber ones? Like the ones that were, those stunk.
Yeah.
And
you get all sweaty and yeah.
Yeah, and so Sarah's going, you got to put on a mask. And I didn't argue. She used to sit at work. Thanks, Ray. Great story, Ron. So I had to put on a mask today. And so I've got a huge head. I take a set on the top of my shoulders.
Well, you need a huge head for that huge ego. I mean, you're not going to fit it into something like this.
Oh! Now it comes out, huh? Yeah, but Kenny had the baby anyway after wearing the mask. The camera adds 10 pounds.
10 inches. Woo!
That's what she said. My huge ego.
Kenny, there's a big difference between masks and bags, buddy.
So is he a Saints fan or just the unknown comic? Remember the year they started 0-12 and they all wore bags over their heads? Anyway, Dave has stretched out the story longer than it needs to be. So I've got this sunshine mask. Isn't it a great story? Aren't you having a good time? Your sherbet's melted by now, hasn't it? Touche. And so she's trying to put the elastic around my ears. And the mask is just too small. She's got the biggest mask that she had. It's just too small. I apparently have a new mask to try on the next time we go out. And so here I am. I'm trying to walk downtown. Do you know? That's true. Big clue. 1979 is the year I'm actually being specific about. And so I put on the mask and I got my glasses on because I have to wear those out to drive. And so I'm sweating. It's cold outside and I'm fogging up my glasses.
Yeah. Glasses fog up so easily. They do.
So I posted a picture of me in the mask today, and about 20 people asked what bank I was robbing.
I could say what bank it was, but I don't want to do that on this show.
The sperm bank. I can make my own. Thank you.
When I played hockey back in the day when I was 16, 17. When I played goal with the JV team, I had glasses on because I hadn't my contact lenses in yet.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah, 1983.
Did you have like the Kenny Dryden
Birdcage. It was a birdcage.
Okay.
It was the Hasek cage. And yeah, they would fog up the entire game. So I would have to be skating around. Like every whistle, I'd skate around to unfog them. And no matter how much of that anti-fog stuff I put on, it just still would fog up. And so I remember the next year when I finally got to be 17 or whatever, I said, I need to get contact lenses. And I remember going into the I think my grandmother took me in and I went into the CD. I said, I need lenses when I play goalie. And I said, but I need to put these in my eyes, no matter how hot it is. My eyes are all red but then after I got used to it, I put them on and then, so now I wear them when I play hockey.
I've worn glasses since I was 4 years old. I know you never see them on because I'm so close in the glare. And someone asked, why don't you ever get contacts? And I said, I really don't need someone fishing around with their fingers in my eye.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah.
So you remember Kurt Rambis, right? From the Lakers?
Yeah.
He wore glasses. He wore them with not the goggles that Kareem wore.
Yeah, the black rim. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't imagine playing basketball with full glasses.
No. Well, even hockey's tough. I tried the other day. I had my eye was bothering me, and I tried to put on my glasses and play hockey. And they just when they spin, sometimes they spin on your head, and you couldn't see anything clear.
Right.
It works for a few minutes, but then I was like, "Yep, no, I can't play with glasses. I just can't do it."
But big clue, Sabo wore the goggles. The goggles are one thing, but Rambis wore glasses.
James Worthy had the goggles too, right?
He did at the end of his career, yeah.
Yeah. I can't wear those. I tried to play paintball one time with those things, and they just fogged up everywhere. Every time I wear goggles, anything, they just fog up at me all the time.
It was nice because she forgot her phone, so she had to go up and get her phone. So I had a few minutes before Horace Grant, too, was another one with the goggles. A chance to walk around my yard and get used to the fact that I was wearing a mask.
Oh, there you go.
Just because it just felt weird. It's a nice mask. Gotta wash it out now. Didn't even cough into it. But you robbing a bank? Yeah. I'm stealing Tostitos and my cholesterol pills. Great.
You guys, let me share this with you real quick. You guys remember this?
Oh, that's a basket and a half. JD.
This is a commercial. Velemure. All the goalies hanging out. Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on? No, just hanging out here. Yeah, good time.
Must have been so uncomfortable to wear those.
Yeah. Who's this guy? Tony! Tony Esposito. Come on, great. That was great. That was
Bob Grease. Triumph fan remembers Bob Greasy played with glasses.
Yes, he did
as a quarterback.
Yeah, he was legally blind, I think he said, or almost legally blind, or something like that.
I don't know how the hell you could play at quarterback in the NFL with glasses. How can you see? Did you ever wear one of those? I mean, they had the toy masks, obviously, for, because from Jason from Friday the 13th. But did you ever actually wear one of those masks?
Yeah, I did. And I played hockey. I played goalie with those.
And how well could you see?
You get used to it. In fact, before we started the league,
I'll take our number one, Monty.
Before we started the league, we were playing outside, and we just had I think we were just playing with a tennis ball. We might have had a hockey ball, I forget, but we all took turns playing net. So I jumped in the net one day, and I just had the simple Milik mask on. It was just piece of plastic. You hook it on behind your head and put it over there. It wasn't a helmet or anything. This was a stupid mask. And someone took a shot, hit me right in the face. And you know something? That stupid thing absorbed a lot. I was surprised how well it absorbed the shot. Now, again, it was just a ball with just a guy in the court. It wasn't a puck from an NHL player, but when it hit the mask, it really dispersed. And I was like, wow, these things actually were designed for that. And I don't think I've ever gotten hit in the face with one of those before, but I got hit in the face with that. It didn't really bother me.
That's strange.
You know? Yeah. Now, if it was a puck, yeah, I would have probably broke some stuff and whatever. But I mean, that mask, even that little crappy Mylec, did its job. I got to say.
Yeah. Playing baseball, though, Clue, with glasses, it's a different story because it's not a full contact sport. Yeah, Jim McMahon, he got hit too many times. He had concussion things. That's why he had to wear the sunglasses.
Oh, really?
Yep. But Dami wore those. I had a pair of the wraparounds, too, that would just kind of hook right around your ear. But if Jim Rice had worn the glasses, I've told you the story about meeting Jim Rice and getting the autograph.
Probably, but
I haven't told that story.
Go ahead.
Okay, so 8
What
years
year?
old,
What year was this?
1980. I'll take Paul in the center square, please. So I don't know who the hell Jim Rice's agent was because Jim was making $750,000 a year back then, back when that was a lot of money. And so someone rooked him to go to Bennington, Vermont to open up a furniture store or remodel a furniture store. He must have owed somebody a favor because this was in the off season. And so we're all sitting out there waiting in line, and I got pulled in to beat the line to get my autograph. I wish I still had it. I got a personalized autograph from Jim Rice, almost as cool as you getting the Bobby Orr with your name on it. That was great. That is great. And the one thing I noticed that Rice was doing in that is he wore glasses, and he never wore them at the plate. And he was so stubborn about not wearing anything. I thought he wore contacts after that because that would make sense. That if Rice had actually worn the glasses the last 2 or 3 years he played, he might have gotten in the Hall of Fame sooner. It hurt him at the end of his career because he couldn't see what was coming. You can't read the spin off the ball. Ricky Vaughn, Darryl Porter, Tim Foley. Now, Porter was a catcher that wore glasses. Imagine that. Imagine with that page on your face.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on Stanley. Apparently, Bob Stanley is just the nicest man out there. And I feel bad now every time I pick on the bastard. But he broke my hat a lot as a kid, especially between 1981 and 1986. The man was just miscast. The man, I'm serious. I mean, Stanley was a good middle relief pitcher that was out there closing ball games. And then when Clemens held out to start the 87 season, what's our thank you? Put up the Ron rant thing. Where's the rant thing? Or did you
All right. Here we go.
And so what's my thank you for us putting up with the 86 Red Sox losing? It's Bob Bleepin Stanley starting opening day in Milwaukee in 87 and getting the snot kicked out of him. Thanks, Boston. Thanks a bunch. Oh, we won some World Series? Never mind. I'm over it.
Kareem. Yeah, Kareem had goggles.
Yep.
I'll be in that basketball game. I'll be playing some Kareem games too. And so I got the 2 games now. I got the Sweet 16 games from Roberto Schiavini that I like, and then this regular season basketball I like too. It all depends, maybe I'll pop between them. Maybe that'd be a good product is to play both of them and see how the series would play out.
No, Appa, I'm not bitter at all. Really. I'm over it. Stepford Wives, right? Would you like a punch?
I like the new one. When she goes on the stove and her hand caught on fire, she's like, "Oh, it's all good. It's all good. I'm on fire. I'm on fire, but that's okay."
That's true. That's true. Demos, James Worth. Yeah, we talked about that. So the Hanson brothers, did they wear glasses in real life, or was that just a movie prop?
I think they wore them in real life. I do.
Oh.
There's a couple of NHLers that did it from time to time, but for the most part, yeah, they didn't.
Especially back then, back in the 70s, when most of those lenses were glass.
Yeah. Yep. And you got checked a lot, so you really couldn't wear them.
And being so sweaty, how would you hold them on your head?
Yeah. You'd have to. Well, when I wore them, there was a tie back. You had a tie that went around your head and hooked on.
There was a sports band you could put on them.
Yeah, they never fell out, but they would move around. So So that was that. But there was a guy in the NHL. His name Henry Boucher. His name was Henry Boucher, and he wore a headband. It was kind of neat. And he always had the headband like with the color of the jersey. So if he was like with the Red Wings, he had the red headband. If he was with somebody else, he had the different color headband. I think he played with Detroit too, maybe. But yeah, it was just funny.
The Red Wings.
See him out there with the headband on was kind of cool. Did Kurt Rambis? Did he have?
We talked about Kurt Rambis. Oh yeah, he wore the real glasses. It wasn't just the sports goggles. Pearl Bailey, she was in the bottom right.
Hey, did you hear Pussy Galore died?
No.
Yeah, Pussy Galore died this week.
Really?
Yeah.
So there's no punchline there.
Nope. The actress that played Pussy Galore.
My favorite Bond girl name. I mean, that's just so obvious.
And that was so racy for the time, too.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
nowadays, it's no big deal. You can just say it. But back in the day, man, going to a Bond movie, yeah, hey, this is Pussy Galore. Holy cow, are you kidding me? Holy, whoa.
I bet my money penny on you. So, yeah, from galore to no more. That sounds like one of those educational movies that they'd make us watch in school. How to make a light bulb. Here's a whole little bastards for 10 minutes. And in the film strips, when you said, okay, Ronnie, read what's on the strip. I don't have my glasses on. Read what's on the strip. And that's how red becomes green. Advance to the next thing. Is this a show for kids?
Some kids.
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. Pussy galore. Yes. At least Xena on the top is still with us.
I don't even know who that is.
I don't either. I just love the name.
Xena, remember the movie Xena? Warrior Princess there, Lucy Lawless. That was a good series.
Yeah.
I liked Xena.
If you like that sort of thing, yes. My wife and her buddy would watch it, and I would go, "Oh, is this over yet?" From GoldenEye. Oh, okay. He's being serious. Xena on the top. That wasn't Terry Hatcher, was it?
From GoldenEye.
Wasn't she in GoldenEye? She was pregnant in the Bond movie that she did.
Really?
Yep. Pierce Brosnan.
Okay, I don't know if I saw that one.
Daniel Craig is a good Bond. He's not as refined as Connery or Roger Moore. A lot of the Roger Moore movies were kind of just camped out versions of James Bond movies. I think they were trying to be silly. I mean, although some of them are quite good. No, it's the ex-wife in Taken, and she plays Jean Grey in the X-Men movies. Okay, that means nothing to me, but
I used to like the Bond. Was it the James Bond when he would come in the room and he'd have the guy attack him and he would fight him off and he was just like, yeah, oh man, you got to do better next time. Was that Bond when he would walk in the room? He had the I don't know, with the Chinese guy, the Asian guy would attack him.
Oh, Odd Job, yeah, Odd Job from Goldfinger.
And he would fight him off. And he'd say, he'd be like, next time you better get me. You know what I mean?
I loved Roger Moore. He just never took himself seriously. He was good in The Saint, Cannonball Run, which, yeah. The Saint was a good TV show.
Cannonball Run was a good movie.
Yeah, both of them were good. Dave is thinking of the Pink Panther. So you
think okay.
Is Inspector Clouseau. And we never talk about the Steve Martin movie as the Pink Panther.
No. There was definitely a movie that I don't think it was Pink Panther that somebody would come in and attack the person just to keep them on guard, and he would fight them off.
Thinking of Clouseau.
That is Clouseau.
Yep, Kato would fight him.
Okay, and then they would, when they get done, they would dust each other off and say, see you tomorrow. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
It's been a while since I did that. The Cannonball Run, Gumball Rally, all those driving long distance movies, those are all great. Rat Race, we talked about that.
They actually did a race based on Cannonball Run, or Cannonball Run was based on a race. They would show it once a year on a wide world of sports. It was called the Race Across America, and they literally had 2 weeks. You could have like 3 drivers in the car, and that was their job. They had to obey the speed limits, but they would drive from Santa Monica to Jacksonville, essentially.
See, that makes no sense because, yeah, the whole idea of that is to drive recklessly to get there. So to try to obey speed limits.
Well, it's for network television.
Yeah, but how fun would that be? I mean, just sitting in traffic driving. Yeah. And I know you couldn't go crazy. I get it.
Right.
Well, what was the movie that the guy was being chased by the cops, going over line by line and counting state by state. And finally, at the end of the road, they put the 2 big bulldozers. And he just drove into the bulldozers and killed himself at the end of the movie.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking Blues Brothers, but that's not.
What movie was that? That the guy, and it was all over the radio too. They're like, "Hey, we're rooting for you, buddy. If you're out there, keep on going." And he would, people would help him out along the way, but he kept eluding the police, and he was taking speed because he was driving like 24 hours in a row just to get away.
It wasn't a serious movie. The first 2 were good. The third one wasn't, but the Jackie Gleason as the sheriff. Oh,
yeah, that was good.
Yeah. Sally Field. G Puck says, Ron, years ago when Rich Gedman was manager of the Worcester Tornadoes, we were marching in a Columbus Day parade, and I was there with 5 Yankees fans. And when Getty came by us, the Yankee fans started chanting in a roll call, pass ball, from obviously the 86 World Series. I bet he was pissed.
No, it wasn't Cannonball Run. No, it was like Final Destination, Last Man Driving. It was a 60s, 70s. Vanishing Point. Yes.
Ray, how many accounts are you signing on with a day?
I know. Ray? He's got my numbers up, though. Yeah, Vanishing Point, Ray. Yeah, that was it. Vanishing Point. And the guy drove, and at the end he crashed and died. Like, oh, that's how it's gonna end. Well, it's no part 2.
That's how I felt watching Thelma and Louise, and I gotta admit that it felt good to watch them drive off the cliff.
Not gonna lie, I might be agreeing with you there, Jugget.
I was
a my hand. See ya.
Yeah. This is why have I sat through this?
Yep. Too funny.
And I like Gina Davis too, but yeah.
Yep. The other one not so much, but Gina Davis is all right.
Yeah. Yep.
So what's going on with your channel this week? You got some different things happening, right?
Let's see. I'm trying to get my registration in tomorrow. We're going to do something different. We're going to actually do the Red Sox and the Yankees. Actually, the next 3 baseball games are all big rivalry games. They got the Red Sox and the Yankees tomorrow.
Okay.
Sunday is Baltimore and Milwaukee. And it's the Dodgers in Houston on Friday. So it's like 3 huge games back to back.
Houston today, all right?
I did. They finished up a series against the Cubs, but they're playing the first place Dodgers. So
how do you do that? Do you pick a game a week in that season to play, or how do you determine what games you're going to play and how many in whatever?
Okay. And so before, the original plan was to do the 80 like we did with 82. It'd be 3 games a week. So I would do a Wednesday game, a Saturday game, and another game from the weekend, usually a Friday night game, because I was trying to match what NBC, a day game on a Saturday. So the best possible matchup for a day game on a Saturday, whatever matchup was there for a Wednesday, and if there was a weekend game I couldn't do on a Saturday, it'd be Friday. Now what I'm basically doing is counting wins. The 2 teams that have the most wins combined is what you see. But I don't want to do, I've noticed, because I got to put up a bunch of games, you're seeing teams 2 or 3 times a week because they're playing 2 different series a week. The Red Sox and Yankees, for instance, that will generate a lot of interest because that's the big rivalry that everybody remembers. But I don't want people to sit through 15 Red Sox Yankee games. Yeah. I might do 4 or 5 depending on what's going on. So right now I'm just going through, okay, midweek series. We take a look to see who's got the best record for that day. The next day, I'm not going to take those two teams again. Who's got the next best one? And I can alter, but that's generally what I'm going for. So when the Astros started to win a lot, I had them. I generally go about 10 days ahead. I think before Corona hit, I was about a month ahead on what I could pick, but it could always, right.
So are you doing almost in real time? So if you do 3 games a week, so every week you're doing a week of the baseball season?
We're doing 6 games a week.
So how many weeks in the baseball season?
26.
And you're going to do 26 weeks?
We're going to do 26 weeks. If we don't start until July 1st, which I still think is optimistic as far as baseball being concerned.
Okay.
There's a good chance that we could be done with that replay and into the playoffs by the time that the real season starts. Just to give people something to watch. And baseball's my sport. It's not that difficult for me to do, and most of the games are good. But again, it's do I want to do the Red Sox and Yankees series in the whole? Yes, because that's a big series.
Right. Yeah.
But my viewers don't want to watch all that, and so
not all the time. Yeah.
And so there's other big things, and so you're just trying to give people a sample. All 4 divisions are within 5 games, and so you get some clunkers like the Astros and the Cubs, or the Astros and the Cardinals, because one team is really hot, and you want to show off that team. If you're going to do it daily, you don't want to do the same 2 teams over and over again. And tomorrow night, if I get the registration codes, we're going to do something that we normally would not do live. I don't like to do a lot of golf live because it doesn't do very well, but the Masters is supposed to be this weekend. And so when we're done tomorrow night, we will play not all 72 in one sitting. By God, that would take forever. But for the next Thursday and Friday night and Saturday and Sunday afternoon, we're going to play the Masters. We're going to do 1 round a day. And on Thursday and Friday, we're going to do a feature group and play all 18. And on Saturday and Sunday, we're going to play the leaders. And so just because this would be a weekend that, starting today, what should have been the par 3. So tomorrow at 3:00, I should be turning on the TV set to watch the Masters. It's the ultimate rite of spring, which I'm getting for my birthday this year because it's in mid-November. So that's some of the things that, a lot of the stuff I was going to do morphed into this, because I honestly think this is more important, to sit here every night and just chat with people. But this is an event that I'm going to miss terribly. And everybody knows Augusta. Even if you don't know the nicknames of the hole, you all know that back 9. You can all play that back 9. And so we're going to do it. And so that should start tomorrow when we're done here. And so it means if we don't do baseball Saturday or Sunday, that's fine. But that's going to take, I don't know who I'm going to pick. It won't be, there'll be some current players. I might pick people who have won 2 majors or more. So that makes it a manageable field. And like I said, on the weekend, we'll play anybody within a shot. And so
cool. We'll have a little Masters tournament, and that's ASG golf, right?
That's going to be ASG golf. Because for me, I just like the way it plays, and I just like the way it plays. I like playing from bottom, whatever that is. It's not the way that field is. It's not vertical, right? It plays the opposite of the way that Action PC.
Yeah, it goes up and down. You shoot up. Yeah.
And so
Action PC shoots across.
And for me, it just fits my eye better.
It's what you like. I mean, I can play both. I've played, actually. I don't mind going left to right. I don't mind going up and down.
I play left to right. I have trouble. My trouble with Action PC golf is when it's windy and you're seeing the arrows there to tell you what direction the wind is going. I have a hard time trying to process it going left to right on the screen, what way the wind is trying to go. And so I have a lot of mishits. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. No, so it's just kind of because you tried to play those. Yes, it got real quiet. We talk about that. So we'll even use the Ray. It's my God, Ray, how you feeling?
Holy cow. I haven't talked to you in forever.
It's been about a week since I talked to you, buddy.
Somebody's been hacking into his account coming on YouTube here.
Yeah. Talking about melting creamsicles and all that. So normally that's not something I would do. If in golf had done, it would be kind of like the old wonderful world of golf. It's just two golfers against each other playing 18. But I think just for this, we'll do it. And I don't know how long it's going to take.
Tennis, and well, it depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for computer, Ron plays
Time travel.
time travel tennis, and I did reviews for 2 tabletop tennis games. One is game by game, is set by set, the Roberto Chavini games. If you're
There's a
into,
bunch of
if you
good ones out there.
yeah, so if you want to do tabletop, that's a couple of good ones there. If you want to do computer, there's the time travel. Time travel look fun.
That's a shot by shot game, but you can set it to only be one set. And for a shot by shot game, it plays really well.
It does. I looked at that. I did like that. It was a little too pricey for me. It was just
You don't get a lot of players with it. But if you are a big tennis fan, worth the money. Absolutely worth the money. But if you're casual, excuse me, the Chavani games, I think would work. There's a couple of the old digging deep tennis was actually actually I take that back. That needed some work too. The quick play games I think are good for that because it gives you a flavor of what to expect.
Yeah, it depends what you want. Like I said, if you want to play computer, if you want to play it on the tabletop. I'm sorry, this basketball game that I got, the regular season basketball, that boy, I tell you, I almost have to play it on the computer because I if I'm keeping stats, holy cow. And that game there, even if you're playing the quick play, to set it up in Excel so it tallies the score, that's what you want. That way you don't gonna do any math at all. Although it is relaxing sitting at a table and have I love the radio on and I'll be playing and I don't want to be on the computer. Sometimes you're on the computer all day, so I get that. But I think I would enjoy it better with the spreadsheet doing all the calculations for me.
Absolutely.
And I want to get my WHA stuff going.
The power play too, right?
Yeah, that's with Kill the Power Play. And I printed out all the playoff matchups for what they play, 7 years or something like that.
The Avco Cup.
The Avco Cup. Yeah. So I have all the WHA seasons. Oh, Ray, thank you. Ray's got 1,600 YouTube accounts, and
Ray, you okay, buddy?
So,
can we send you some toilet paper or something like that?
So I want to go back and I want to start like I do all my playoff replays. Start off with the opening matchups and play the quick play games, and then see how they shake out. And if we get some different matchups, then we will. But I had fun that 1920 Olympics. That was fun. When I did that
you had.
Holy cow, USA, Switzerland, 29-0 USA wins. So I do a replay of that. I roll the dice. What is the final score? In a hockey game, no less. In a hockey game, in this guy's game, I rolled the dice and I won 29-0. It was spot on. It was scary how close it was. And Kenny likes the WHA. Yeah, so I figured I'd do the first year because that's the first year that everybody went over. And they played. And then after that,
intrigues you? Are you New England Whalers or?
Well, I mean, Perrant and Sanderson, they went over to Philadelphia.
For Sanderson was there for all of what, 4 games? I thought
8 games, I think. 8 games. But Perrant was there. Cheevers went to the Crusaders. You have Quebec in there with a couple of known guys.
Nordique, yep.
Gordie Howe was there at some point. The Winnipeg Jets, I think,
wasn't Bobby Hull there?
Bobby Hull. Yeah, one of the Hulls was there. So there's a lot of guys. I think Dave Keelan was in there at some point. There's a lot of names in the WHA that you would know. In fact, for shootout hockey, I actually did a game on shootout hockey one time. Yeah, I think it was Philadelphia and Cleveland I did.
The year that Quebec won, I think Quebec did win a year. That Game 7 of that final, I think it's Winnipeg, Quebec, and that final's on YouTube, Game 7. And it's it's a CBC presentation too. But remember, if you're wondering how they got away with both leagues, the NHL was sponsored by Molson and Imperial Oil. So that was all an ad agency deal. CBC didn't have the rights. They bought the rights from the ad agency. And I'm sure whatever.
Houston, Quebec, you said?
Winnipeg, Quebec, I think.
Houston, Quebec was 74.
It's a 77 final. It's Game 7 of the 77.
You are correct. Yeah, Quebec, Winnipeg, 76, 77. Yep, they went the full distance. It went
so
all 7 games.
Game 7 is on YouTube.
8-2 Quebec. They crushed them. There's no box score for that game, but on Hockey Reference, they crushed them. And I think there was one. What do we say? That was 76. So they played 77 and 78, and they were done.
Right. That was the last year. Gretzky started in Indianapolis with the Racers, and they went bankrupt. And he was sold to Edmonton, and the rest is history. But as Kenny Castro says, Wayne Gretzky's first professional goal came against the Edmonton Oilers. And I would not have guessed that in a million years.
So if I did 72, 73, I think that was their first season. Cleveland Crusaders takes on the Philadelphia Blazers in round 1. So that was a good matchup. Oh, they actually had a preliminary round at Minnesota and Alberta Oilers. They played 1 game. So it must have been they tied to 79 points, the exact same record. And so they had must have been a play-in game.
Yeah.
To get Minnesota in.
What was the Minnesota's nickname?
Fighting Saints.
Oh, so they must have played in St. Paul.
Yeah.
That was the name of their baseball team was the Fighting Saints.
Yep. So we had Winnipeg, Houston, the Los Angeles Sharks. I have a pennant for the Los Angeles Sharks.
You've got that pennant up a lot, yeah.
Yep, and the Minnesota Fighting Saints, and then on the in the East, New England, Cleveland, the Philadelphia Blazers, and the Ottawa Nationals. The Quebec Nordiques and the New York Raiders did not make the playoffs.
And of course, New England played at the Garden, right?
They played in different places. New England, they played.
It
in
wasn't
a couple
Hartford
places.
until late.
They were playing at the Garden, but do you know what I saw today on YouTube?
What?
I was watching this game from 1960. It was what was it? Maple Leafs, Canadians. Let me see if I might be able to play a clip here without getting in trouble.
You can because it's all public domain.
Okay, so let's watch a few seconds of this and see if anything jumps out at you guys and girls. Okay, so we got this, right? So I'm going to maximize that. And let me know what jumps out at you here. Beside the black and white, okay, is anything going to jump out at you? Like anything right now?
I'm seeing if there's face masks on the goalies.
The Canadian goalie does have a face mask. I think it's Plante. It's Plante. Plante has a face mask.
Yeah, so so the Toronto goalie isn't wearing anything. That's that.
Anything right there you just see?
I'm not seeing.
Look at the hands over the glass right there. There's no glass until the goal line.
Oh my God.
There's no glass on this rink until the goal line.
And that's at the Forum.
How would you look at all the look at
God.
Man, the guy's gonna clear it out. It's like, forget that. Would you ever sit there? Would you ever sit in the first row down low? The defenseman turns to clear it. He's going to fire it.
Never would have guessed.
And look at how low the glass is behind the net. It's what, a 4-foot glass behind the net. And I know it was probably the sticks were probably pretty straight, but still.
Oh, they're not shooting it. Yeah.
But I mean, look at the people right there. They got their hands hanging over in the game.
Oh my gosh.
There's no glass after the goal line. It might be like the press or something there. I don't know if it's regular fans, but look at that. Is that nuts? That is absolutely insane.
The Forum was a big rink. It wasn't at the end. Or maybe it's just the way yeah, Johnny Bauer, no face mask.
Oh, he went down too for that shot. Are you nuts? Oh! Ooh, hit him right in the face. Wow, huh? That was nuts. But yeah,
that's crazy.
There was no. I was watching this. I'm like, am I seeing this correctly? Is there no glass until the goal line?
That would be nuts.
And the no helmets. Yeah, there was no helmets for a long time. But I mean,
no,
I could not picture myself sitting in the stands at like face-off circle when nowadays the defense turns and fires it. That's what they fire. In fact, as a referee, I almost got hit in the head one time standing like right there. So that puck would have gone in the stands and killed somebody. But I guess back then, if you didn't have the glass and you weren't trying to shoot it high because you wanted to,
Well, you also do that. You could only bring the stick above. You couldn't put the stick above the shoulder, too, right? That high sticking was.
I don't know.
Highly.
I don't know.
Yeah, they played in Springfield. They played in a lot of different places. They didn't settle into Hartford until when men were men, and the women sat in the blues. When did they put glass all the way around the rink? I've never seen it. I remember the clear glass for the boards. They had that at Michigan. The University of Michigan would play with clear boards instead of the white dashers.
Weird. But there was some rinks, I think, like in Toronto and places like that. They only had a couple of feet of glass going up, like the blue line and neutral ice, because you could see people like reaching over and grabbing people sometimes.
Gosh. Well, we've talked about this before. I didn't realize until 1963 that teams shared the same penalty box. And it was a Hockey Night in Canada clip, just like you showed, when Toronto and Montreal at Maple Leaf Gardens, where the fight didn't end when they broke it up on the ice. They went at it in the box. And about 2 weeks later, the Forum in Montreal had separate penalty boxes.
Yeah, you would have to.
I can't, especially in the 70s, with the Flyers and the way that they all fought, being on the same.
Well, that's how Hockeytown was until a few years ago.
You mentioned that before, yeah.
Yeah. So Hockeytown, they had the one penalty box, and both guys went in it, and they had to change it over because eventually some of the leagues and the high schools and they were like, no, we need separate penalty boxes.
I would think liability issues. You just don't, especially you get kids. Kids are being kids, you know.
So what I would do, so when I refereed, if and I only refereed the one league there, but occasionally you get feisty and you'd hand out matching penalties and you'd say go to the bench. I wouldn't put them in the box. I would just say go to the bench. I don't even want you guys sitting in there talking to each other. Just go to the bench. But now it's all they did it over nice. It's actual boxes and glass. It did a nice job with it. The Fighting Saints logo, yes, Minnesota Fighting Saints. They do have a nice logo. They do. I don't have too much WHA. I got the LA Sharks pennant, and that's about all I got for WHA stuff.
Dad, did they move to San Jose at some point?
No.
Okay, so
they went somewhere, and I forget, but they ended up folding. They were looking around, and I think their last season they gave up. They just said, "Oh, the hell with it." So yeah. So the WHA was a weird league. It really was. I don't know much about it. Was what?
Orange pucks. The pucks were orange for television.
That wouldn't make sense.
Back me up, Kenny, if you're still here. The pucks were orange.
I don't think you could see orange pucks. I know the referees had red stripes.
So the AFL, their officials wore red stripes too.
Yeah. I was actually trying to get that. Don't see a Steelers pennant. No, I don't think I have anything Pittsburgh. I'm looking around here. No, I don't have Steelers. I don't have Penguins. I don't have Pirates. I don't have anything Pittsburgh, which is okay.
Kenny's not. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Apparently Kenny's not here, but yeah, if you look it up, they use an orange puck. Might have been orange rimmed or something like that. Sure, big clue.
I'm not seeing them. I put in orange puck WHA. No, they were black with the logo.
Okay.
From what I'm seeing here. I mean, the Cleveland Crusaders had an orange logo that they used on the puck.
The Sharks became the Baltimore Blade and then the Michigan Stags. Thank you, Corey.
A lot of teams bounced around like that.
They did. There just wasn't a lot of money. And if they hadn't emerged with the NHL, they were in the process of bleeding both the leagues dry. Between the Flyers fighting, which got them thrown off network television. Remember, there was no network TV deal for a long time.
Yeah.
And the fact that they would raid. Who's 22? Is that Warwick Dunn? No, Martin. Who's that? Okay.
They just had a deal. In fact, this is the worst jersey. I don't even wear it. It's this stripe here is so thick. It's like the numbers here. I thought it'd be screen printed. It is such a awful jersey to wear. I don't wear it.
Nike jerseys are all rubber too. They're a rubbery thing, and so yeah. I don't think Curtis Martin ever played.
No, I don't know.
Well,
And
that
you know,
is a
in
running
fact,
back number, you're right.
I got a on eBay or somewhere they had a sale on, like, you know, those action figure guys there, and it had the guy with the jersey, and it's the same number, 22 Martin, and I don't know who which Martin it is, but I like the uniform.
See, Ray, the WHA also experimented with blue-colored pucks, which were supposedly easier for the fans to see.
That's what I thought it was. They might have tried the blue. I don't think it was orange.
All right, Kenny. Okay, Kenny's actually being a responsible parent at the moment.
Okay.
I was a responsible parent at one point today until she tried to scratch me in the legs while I was eating with my wife, and my wife threw her off the bed. And so now when I shut off the light after we're done, the cat will be quite angry with me. Doug Martin, credit Wikipedia. Okay. Now, Doug Martin.
So it must be 22, Doug Martin.
That would be a running back number, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Now blue pucks would be interesting.
I actually have a blue puck. They're a lot lighter. They're used for the kids, and they're wicked light. And we tried that in the men's league one time. Holy cow. Regular dudes were firing this thing 100 miles an hour because it was so light. And they were like, no, we can't use this. Someone's going to get hurt with this thing, because they just took off. They were so light, but they're designed for kids because they were less weight than a black puck. So I tried it one time during the scrimmage game, and like, no, put this away. Well, someone's going to get hurt. We're hitting this too hard. It just was too light.
100 miles an hour in your tiny rink? Oh, my God.
Yeah. I mean, I could have hit that thing. Yeah. Back in the day, I remember we used to play pickup ice hockey, you know, back in the 70s and 80s. And I heard a story one time of these kids who would drill holes in the puck, which would lighten the load.
Oh, sure.
And so you could fire this thing. You know, I was like, oh my gosh, what are you guys doing modifying this? That was too funny. So
I'd be curious if you ever got a hold of one of those god awful Fox pucks from the 90s. Remember the Fox?
Yeah, remember they used to go into the crowd and get them back. You couldn't keep them.
No.
They actually worked pretty well. I didn't mind it. You could see that little dot there from time to time, and it had the little trail on it.
Yeah, I think it was I think today it would have worked because we're all used to the video games. But in the mid-90s, no. Atlanta or Tampa for New Jersey? Would the Falcons change their jerseys again?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no opinion.
Yeah, the Falcons did change their jerseys.
What do they look like?
Very generic.
Okay. That's not bad. Again, that's a video game thing back in the mid-90s, but
every time it went so fast, it would change. I didn't know they played at the Garden with this.
All-Star game. Wow.
This is the one the Bork scored in the final 20 seconds or something like that. That wasn't terrible. I mean, I might not want it all the time.
I for like a Stanley Cup final game, you wouldn't want that.
But we're trying to bring people back into the game, you know, and so this is one way of following the puck, and I guess it works, you know. Oh, there's the Bork goal.
Right. But in today's high definition world, I mean, hockey is the perfect high definition sport, if you ask me, because you can see so much more.
Oh yeah, when I remember when I saw my first hockey game in HD, it was at a buddy's house because we didn't have any crap in our town, and I was like, "Holy cow, this is amazing!" He's like, "I'm watching hockey. I don't even like hockey, and I'm watching hockey."
All right, so show me look up the Falcons jerseys, please.
All right, and those Atlanta Falcons.
Oh yeah, Tampa went back to their more pewter power look, right? Or 90s, 20s, red and white.
Yeah, they went. I'll show those next. So let's see if I can share this. Atlanta Falcons.
No.
See the ATL on the front? It looks like a generic video game.
Yeah. No. That's like the Seahawks jerseys, except for their Atlanta colors. Nike sometimes gets nuts. All right. And the Tampa ones look like that too, right? Except for the Tampa colors.
The white is it's all white though.
Wow.
Well, that's
They're
white.
coming to take me away. Aha, they're coming. See, they should be red. There we go. Ew. They look like Kansas City Chief colors, don't they?
No, Arizona Cardinals.
Okay. Yeah, I'm no.
Oh, they fade up from black to red.
And with the matte finish on the helmet. Where's the gong? I'm gonging those. They do look like Arena League, Neil, don't they? We'll take your word for it on the link. I'm sure they got nailed. No, hard pass. Hard pass.
Yeah, let me see Tampa Bay.
But I'm a Giant fan. I like simple. Napoleon Bonaparte. Yeah. Drop me off at Elba.
I hear Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is they look really similar.
Did the WHA ever do an orange puck?
So here's Tampa Bay. They got the orange in there at least, but it's they went back to their other style, I think.
That's their kind of what they wore the year they won the Super Bowl. Those aren't bad.
Yeah, that's what they did.
Those aren't bad.
They get rid of the digital numbers. They got the black. I wish they had the orange. Next year they'll be orange. They have to be. They're getting a lot of pressure.
What game are they going to wear the black? They certainly can't wear that during the day in South Florida.
Right.
Or,
That's rush color. That's Thursday night, right?
I would I like the white. I like that.
That ain't too bad.
Those aren't bad. Tampa.
They're okay. They're okay.
Kenny says briefly. Okay, I wasn't just a minute. Briefly, he believes. Between the two, Tampa. I bet they do that for Brady's second year.
They should have Brady's first year. Come on, that's such a splash. Back to the creamsicles, Brady. Bring it. Just bring it all in, Orange was the best. Oh, but Oregon. Oh, the Oregon. Yeah. Some of the colleges. Oof.
Oh, it's horrible. Just horrible.
Yeah, and I'm not a fan of that ATL either. That really looks, I don't know, not a thing.
But you know what? The Warriors have the city written on their uniform, and I like that because that's what they wore back in the '60s when they moved from Philadelphia to San Francisco. And this year they moved back from Oakland to San Francisco. So,
see, the Cleveland one, I didn't mind the Cleveland. It says Cleveland on. I didn't mind that too much. I don't know why. I didn't. I mean, Cleveland, they change the uniforms every year to see if it works.
I want to see a logo on the helmet in Cleveland.
Yeah, at this point, yeah, just that's fine.
If they were going to do it when they brought him back in '99, would have been the time to do it. They almost had a CB on the logo in the '60s, but it was nixed. The orange pucks are heavy weighted for passing only. If players shoot those, they will break the glass almost every time. We almost don't allow them on ice surfaces. Okay. Now, yeah, I wonder why they'd be because...
No, those are the new ones. I think Steven works at a hockey rink.
Okay.
So you get the light blue, the light ones for the kids, the black of the normal orange pucks. So they must be passing pucks only, designed to get weight on. So I'm thinking that's what he's saying.
But I would think, though, with the different colored puck, that it's just a matter of what you dye the rubber, right?
I don't know how they do that. I mean, I've seen the show on how they make the pucks. So.
Oh yeah. So if I, hello everybody.
Al's in the house.
Don't swell his ego anymore, okay?
I had to give him some applause. He's been on Facebook, what, a week now?
Hasn't been thrown off yet. I'm proud of it.
Haven't seen Clinton in here, so who knows what he's doing.
I'm proud of you, buddy. Yeah, I think. Well, here's the thing about the Steeler logo. There's actually a story there. Because if you look at the Steeler logo, it's the same as the Steel. Yes, this is a long story, and I'm placating. I will continue. Thank you. If it pleases, this is not a rant. This is not a rant. If it pleases the court, got that one there. If Chuck Wagon there, if it pleases the court, if you look at the Steelers logo, it's the same as the official logo for Steel. And so they got like a 99-year use of it, but they can only use it on one side of it, and they can't change it. So the only thing that's changed, as opposed to the word Steel, is changing it to Steelers.
That's weird. They only put it on one side.
Yeah,
that's weird.
And it used to be yellow. That's why I'm here. Thank you. And the red buffalo is pornographic.
Really?
Yes. Go look at that. Go look at the old Bills logo.
I didn't know that.
Yes, back when they were white helmets.
Oh, that must have looked like college, for crying out loud. Like Alabama.
Mm-hmm. Look on the bottom of an aerosol can. Yep, you'll see the Steel logo. So they were given the rights to that, but they can't play with it. So yeah, go look up the old Bills AFL logo.
I've seen it.
Something kind of sticks out at you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it probably does.
When when the store was downtown, my dad was a huge Bills fan. And so we always tried to get him, because he was from that era, we always tried to get him something with the Standing Bills logo on it. And so one day we're looking at the hats, and Sarah goes, "That's right, you won't find this on a Fortnite stream." And Sarah's going, "It's a small detail. I can't believe they did it to begin with, especially in 1960. Sarah goes, "Is that a penis?" I'm going, "No." So I went, there's no one else in the store besides the two of us, and I went over and looked. Yes, penis was not the word she used, but yes, that is an actual penis on that logo.
No, it'll be fur or something.
It's a penis.
No.
Go look.
I'm not gonna go look at buffalo danglings. It's not that big of a deal. Seriously, it's not that big of a deal.
That's what she said.
So anyway, so you want to wrap this up? It's getting to be 8 o'clock.
Yep.
About an hour and a half tonight, and so we had a good time tonight chatting with everybody.
Hopefully, we de-stressed you a little bit.
Yeah, it was a tough day. It's just, again, I try to desensitize myself to what's going on, because there's nothing I can do about it, but it still doesn't make it any easier.
No, it's 74 was the first year of the new logo. It's a yes, apichatter. It's a dangling participle. Greatest WHA score of all time. Would that be Mark Tardif at the Quebec Nordique?
Probably. That sounds about right. Yeah, I think I'll roll some dice tonight, and I'll play some WHA. I'm going to make another decaf coffee. I'll go up in Studio C. I will play some WHA hockey. I'll roll some playoffs.
I don't know.
We all unsubscribed from that guy.
Right. Maybe
it was a mass exodus from the channel.
Maybe you and 35 Productions can. Oh, Andre Lacroix. Okay. He was Chuck Payton's color guy for the Whalers. Al Red Sox fan and Ray Arnott are all the same person, right?
They must be. I've seen like 17 of them.
That's right.
Split personalities.
Thanks, Sybil. I appreciate that.
I can't figure it all out. I try to follow these guys, and they're all over the place.
They're everywhere.
So, all right, we'll wrap this one up. Everybody, thanks for
oh, look, they're talking to each other now.
Stop. I don't know who this is anymore. I feel like I'm in one of those movies. What was that movie, Unfriended, when they're on the screen here and all these people are putting messages? They don't know who they are.
Oh, that would be like that would be like an after-school special, wouldn't it? Unfriended, the story of how Facebook fell apart.
Watch that movie, Ron. If you get a chance, watch this movie. I know you don't like movies.
Mm-hmm.
This is done in one take, and it's all a computer screen. It's a very unique movie, and it's a creepy movie, and it's all about what we're doing. So if you get a chance, watch even if you watch like an hour,
okay,
25 minutes. You're not gonna watch the whole thing, but it's good. It's really good. It's about a bunch of high school kids that do a chat, and then things go really wrong.
Jesus, Ray.
Oh man. man.
Red Sox Yankees at noon and the Masters when we're stop it.
A lot of people liking Al today. I don't know what's going on. Al is I thought it said Alf. Bring back Alf.
Bring back.
And I'm like, yeah. I mean, was it he likes to eat cats? Is that what it is? He likes cats.
No, we don't want Alf back for just that reason.
I remember one episode of Alf. This is the only Alf memory I have. They had a glass of milk. And they're like, it's the last glass of milk we have. And Alf and the other guy were talking. And he's like, all right, we split the glass. All right, that's fine. We'll split the glass. So the guy takes the glass of milk and he drinks the whole thing. Alf goes, what are you doing? You drank the whole glass. He goes, yeah, but my half is at the bottom. I had to get through your half. Oh, my God. My head bonk. Oh.
All right. Who we got on tomorrow night, Johnny?
I don't know. We might have 3 different Rays on here.
All right. I'll leave you with the Johnny Carson story.
All right.
The 58 Browns had numbers on the helmets. Well, thank you, Mr. Lo Chavio. All right. So Jane Fonda's on one night back in the 80s. Okay. And she's telling about the time that Johnny was in New York and Zsa Zsa Gabor was on the show. And according to Jane, so Zsa Zsa stroking the cat on her lap. And Zsa Zsa says, would you like to pet my pussy? And Johnny says, yeah, if you'd remove that damn cat.
Oh.
I can't imagine that got past the NBC censors, but you never know. It got past it in the late 80s when Jane Fonda told the story, but that's, yeah.
I told you about, I told you about the Eddie Andelman story on the radio, didn't I?
Oh, tell it again.
Yeah, he had there's this smoking blonde on Nesson back in the must have been not.
I'm not sure what you've told it on.
Late 80s, early 90s, and and I forget her name now. She was probably the first smoking hot blonde that Nesson had, and she did a lot of the hockey. And she ended up marrying a guy from the Portland Pirates, if I remember. Okay, it was one of the defensemen in the minor leagues she married. Christian Mastrioni, maybe.
Okay,
it might have been her. I'm not sure, but anyway, it must have been 2001. Okay, because the Patriots were in the Super Bowl. Okay, it was during one of the Super Bowl runs. So it was definitely 2000s. Okay, and so she's on the radio with Eddie Andelman, and they're talking and this and that, and so Eddie goes, so Nicole, talking about the Super Bowl, she says, so you guys had, watching the game, the whole bit, Patriots and this and that. She goes, oh yeah, it was great. So Eddie says, so was your husband excited? And she goes, oh, he was completely excited. And Eddie says, I mean, when he was watching the game. And they went right to commercial. It's like, oh my gosh, you not get away with saying that today. So was your husband excited? Oh yeah, he was so excited. Yeah, how about when he was watching the game? She was a smoke show. She really was. Oh my gosh.
I don't know if this is a real story or not. Early days of television, watching a baseball game, and there's a couple making out. They catch it on camera. They're smooching. And the announcer, like I said, don't know if this is true or not. Well, he kisses her on the strikes, and she kisses him on the balls.
Oh.
Good night, folks.
That's terrible.
Okay.
Yeah, this I think this is her right here. It's not a very good picture. I'll see if I can share this.
Nesson always hires good people, and they never pay them. Oh,
so that
was that her?
I think that was her.
That's Heidi Watney, isn't it?
That's Heidi?
Yeah, I think that's Heidi Watney.
Oh, I did a search for Kristen Mastriani.
Oh, maybe not. Someone will know.
Kristen Mastriani. Is this Kristen?
Oh,
that's
Kristen.
Kristen.
Okay.
They look kind of the same.
Yeah. I was never a huge Heidi Watney fan.
Oh, that was Heidi Watney. I'm wrong. Yeah, but it was.
Look who's here!
So are you gonna start sucking up to Ray now? One of
Which
the
one, Ray
one of the Rays. We have so many Rays. It's like the sun in here. There's so many Rays.
We all moved to Tampa.
Ron's here all week.
Please try the veal. Tip
Oh
your weight.
boy.
Yeah.
So Al, you gonna be doing anything tonight? You gonna be doing any games tonight that I can listen to while I roll some dice in Studio C? I think I want to get off the computer. I'll bring up my iPad and I'll have my decaf coffee and I'll be listening to something. I think you've been doing some football. Al was doing a game and I was popping in and out because I think I was doing something. I think I was whatever I was doing. And I come back in late and he's like, and it's a fumble and this. And I'm like, and Detroit loses the game. So I was like, Al, which team are you controlling? He's like, do you have to ask? It's the losing team.
Just might. At some point when we're allowed back in cars again, he's going to come and chop me up, and then he's going to come and chop you up. Yeah, Al's the late night host.
He's the overnight.
That's right. Him and Commander Glick.
I've been listening to a lot of radio at night. I'll put it on sports radio. There's like 4 sports streaming channels on satellite radio, and I'll listen to one of them. Although it's tough listening to sports right now because there's nothing to talk about. And once in a while, somebody just talks, and it's kind of good. Oh, the field goal? Yeah. Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, you have a problem with those field goal kickers. That's something else. So anyway,
Mid-70s football.
Yeah.
All righty.
All right. Yeah, let's wrap this up. I'm going to go make myself a coffee. I'm going to go play some WHA hockey. I'll post results on the Digital to Dice forum. If you guys want to jump over there, if you're not already, facebook.com/group/digital to dice. Hook up with us and have some fun on there and just post your projects. And I posted a new basketball video today, so you can check that out if you want to check out that basketball video. And tomorrow, I think I'll do the Roberto Schiavone football game. Not any given Sunday. Mud to Glory, I think it is. I will be doing that one there. Oh, Dave Little jumped in.
How you doing, Mr. Little?
Just in time. Actually, he's going to sign off here. Thank you, Al, for jumping in. And so, Dave, I put up a new basketball video today. I think I put one up on your group too, if you want to check out the regular season basketball game. So, Neil, thanks for jumping in, buddy. We got to play some Diablo again. We haven't played Diablo in a long time. Oh, I tried to go run. I went back and I tried to play that Call of Cthulhu game today.
Yes.
Boy, that took a nosedive.
Oh dear.
I hit this one spot where I was hiding from a monster and he kept killing me. So I had to go to YouTube to find out how to get around him and get past that scene. So I did that. And then I had to unlock a safe. And for the life of me, I could not find the code on the safe. So I went to YouTube to watch the video. And so I watched the guy put in the code. For the life of me, even finding the solution, I couldn't figure out how we get the 3 numbers for the code. And I don't like games like that when it's like, okay, I feel bad enough that I failed.
Right.
That I couldn't solve it on my own, that I had to go get the answer somewhere, and then I get the answer and I still don't get it. So I've had to go I've had 3 episodes in this game. The only 3 times in the game that you weren't just walking around getting clues, talking to people, because it was a chill game.
Right. That's why you liked it.
So the only 3 times in this game that I had to actually physically fight for my life or solve a puzzle, I had to go to YouTube to find out how to do it. You know something? That just takes all the I'm out to just watch the rest of the game on YouTube. Seriously, why bother playing anymore if every time it comes up to a situation, I can't do it? And that's not what I played the game for. I didn't play the game for that. I didn't play the game to hide from a monster and then get killed over and over and over and over and over. That's not what I played the game for. I didn't play the game to sit there for 45 minutes trying to figure out a 3-digit code. Can't find it anywhere. Give up, go to YouTube, watch somebody play it, and still not see where they come up with the code. Where did you come up with these 3 numbers? Where are they? It's not like I just missed them somewhere. I still didn't get it. So I think I'm done with that. I really am.
That's how you really feel.
Oh, I think I'm done. That was a Dave rant. That's how my day went. And then there was the parrot in the tree.
That was funny.
2 fire trucks at the end of my street trying to get a parrot out of a tree.
They're thankful they can get out of there too. And it was a
You
nice
know?
in your neck of the woods too, right?
So yeah, so they got the parrot. He could have been flying around. We have bald eagles. Maybe the eagle would have got him, you know. So, I heard Sinking City was a little bit more difficult. So if I can't get through Call of Cthulhu, there's no way I'm doing Sinking City. So, and Dave said he'll check out that video, of that basketball game. It's cards and dice. Might be kind of fun. But I did have to create my own spreadsheet for that. But so anyway, all right, we're gonna jump out. My coffee is gone. I need more coffee. So,
all right.
We'll talk to you later. So everybody, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully we'll see everybody tomorrow night. Ron is tomorrow in the afternoon. He might be on, and then he's got his golf coming up. So be sure to stick to that. And myself, I'm hoping to do first thing in the morning when I get a fresh cup of coffee in the morning. Decaf. I'm only drinking decaf because of my heart problem. I'm only drinking decaf. I'll see if I can get that football game up. Mud to Glory. Explain that a little bit. The fast play game. But anyway, so
all right.
I took a picture of it. I got a couple of pictures of the parrot in the tree, but it was tough. I only had my phone. Just he was so far away, I couldn't really see him. So, but they got him down. Hook and ladder. Went up. Guy grabbed him. Got him. Adrian, I got him. He brought him down. I don't know what they did with him, but they must have got him back. So, anyway, so everybody, thanks for tuning in. I can make sure I hit the right button here. I always hit the wrong button, so I'll hit the right button. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.